Back in the day, you would go and throw it into the pile, and there'd be a bunch of scrap metal and stuff, and people would pick through it and make stuff out of it. Plastic, it's done. You just kind of throw it away, and eventually you've got this big pile of stuff that nobody can do anything with, so you burn it.
There's a lot of people in the world that just don't even have electricity, and it's another kind of target market for solar companies now to develop really small, what they're calling pico-solar products, which are small solar lanterns that are affordable for people who have no electricity.
What these lantern companies are currently doing is great. They're taking into account families who don't have access to electricity, and they're providing them light for students who want to do their homework at night, or those who need to clean their dishware, or just like any nightly routine that they're able to do with the lanterns that they weren't able to do before. However, they're not designed for, their main audience, for those in developing countries. They have no way to discard them, meaning that it's more destructive than beneficial for them in the long run.
It's important those products be high quality, and they're not. A lot of times the products that are sent to Malawi and other kind of remote African countries are what they call fifth-tier products, meaning that they're really poorly manufactured products, and they use really poor materials, and there's a high failure rate. And so the Malawians are really getting the short end of the stick when they purchase a solar product, and then it breaks after a week or two, and there's nobody that they can call or contact about this really crappy product. So I think that customer care is just a really important aspect of the supply chain that I learned about in Malawi. The products will become what they call electronic waste very quickly, within a couple of years, and most of the products are hazardous, so it'll become hazardous waste.
The environmental design piece of this is that it's happening because that product has not been designed in a way that gives them any other option.
So far we have disassembled from the company D-Light Design, the D2, the S20, S300, as well as the D-Light Home System. We came across an issue of being able to take it apart because the screws that held the power source together were covered by a sticker, so we didn't have access to those screws. It took two of us and multiple tools to try to pry it open to see the circuit board inside.
Being able to take what the users want and need and combine that with good sustainable design. Good sustainable design is, it's really simple, because the more complicated it is, the more likely it is that something's going to go wrong. It is indestructible. It'll never break. It is repairable. If it breaks, you can fix it. It is as efficient as possible.
The testing that we did today was a destructive plastic testing. We followed a flow chart narrowing down the plastic identifications. What we did through the destructive testing, we had a hot soldering iron, and we placed it to see if it would soften or if it would remain hard. Following the flow chart, we would set it on fire, and we would see if it turned yellow or orange or red flame, and then we would see the smoke being emitted from it. And the purpose of doing this is because knowing the plastics and knowing if it's recyclable would help us to see exactly how these lanterns are burning. So we wanted to see the smell of it, the odor. Is it becoming stringy? Is it just like crumbling and becoming nothing? Or is it just like a waste that you can never get rid of?
Essentially, our goal is to encourage the companies to recognize our research and adapt changes when producing their products, so that they are designed in certain ways that are much more sustainable. For example, instead of a lantern being screwed together, possibly having a lantern that you can just clamp together and easily unclamp just using your hands. That way you don't have to use any kinds of tools. If the companies were to adapt these kinds of changes and use them when producing their lanterns, then once they do stop working, the user can themselves take it apart, be able to fix it easily, and be able to keep using the lantern opposed to throwing it in a trash pile and burning it.